Hey everybody, this is Dave Walsh, and I am nearing the end of my Dream Chaser campaign, and I am now at the storm on Cobas Haven. And despite what it looks like, with all this stuff already out, this is actually just the setup of the game. It's a sailing test quest, so I have to make sure I have my fleet, and then I have some objectives that come out. We'll go over all these guys, and then there's a bunch of stuff that starts in the staging area. So let's begin like we do everyone and go over what's in my hand and then set up the quest and the campaign. In this scenario, I ended up getting 2 allies to start with, both 3 cost. But I have the Narlenia, so hopefully that's going to help reduce these costs to a manageable level. The first one is the Lorien Guide, a little corset love here. And I really did just add this card because we did a show on it in the corset. And I said, maybe it would be good to put that in my Sylvan deck for the next campaign I do. And so lo and behold, here it is. You get to put a progress on the active location when the guide exhausts or commits to the quest, doesn't have to exhaust. And then it says, after a Sylvan character readies, for the Sylvan tracker on the right there, it says, during the refresh phase, heal 1 damage. So this is my healing, so hopefully that's going to get out and help me heal a whole bunch of stuff. On the right, I have Nenya. Nenya's been a very great attachment to have on Galadriel. It's her ring. It's a ring of power. It allows me to throw her willpower to a questing character, but it also gives me the lore resource icon, which is arguably maybe more important than the 4 willpower going to another character. And then on the left, I have Island Amid Perils, which is a 0-cost event that allows me to bring a Sylvan back into my hand and then reduce my threat by the cost of that Sylvan, which in this quest may be all right, again, because I have the Narlenia. On the left, this may be the first time on the left you get to see the Unexpected Courage close up in these scenarios. I never show it to you because everybody knows what Unexpected Courage does and how it works. There's nothing new there. But on the right, I have Círdan's Blessing, and that is nice to see because it allows me to increase the defense of a character by 3. And the level that Círdan's Blessing is for this game is just 1. It's 1, so its X is 1. I use the 1 ring. It's controversial, I know. People don't love to see the 1 ring because it's powerful, but what I love about the 1 ring is that its power doesn't lie in the 1 ring itself. The 1 ring actually doesn't do anything for you on its own. It's actually kind of a treachery on its own. It lowers your threat elimination level by 5. But what it does is it gives you access to these master cards like the one on the left. And this is what I call the Defendy master card. So it's got the hero gets +1 defense. And then I'm able to raise my threat by 1 to cancel a shadow effect that was just triggered. So I like this combination here. It goes on Thranduil. Thranduil will have a defense of 4, and I have those cards right from the beginning of the game. Outmaneuver the enemy. So before I set up this scenario, I do want to say that there is a wonderful multiplayer epic multiplayer version of this that the Purple Wizard has put together. So if you're interested in that, you can go over to the Vision of the Palantir and look up that scenario. It's really good. I've played it. I had a lot of fun playing it. We're going to be playing this in just normal campaign mode. But here we go. It says, prepare the Corsair deck. So the Corsair deck seems to have been growing and growing this whole time here. We got a lot of, it went from like 9 or 10 cards to now it looks to be maybe 18 cards-ish. So that's pretty crazy. And then it says the players prepare their fleet. Okay, so let's take a look at my fleet. On the left, I have the Dream Chaser. I was able to upgrade it early on in the campaign. It's immune to player card effects. It's Sentinel. That's not going to mean much here. But the immune to player card effects is annoying because I can't heal it. I can't do much to help it out. But because it was upgraded, anytime I commit it to the sailing test, it counts as 3 characters, and that's why I upgraded this ship. And then one of the things that people don't realize, but it was clarified in the rulebook for the campaign, the new release rulebook, is that if you're playing solo, you actually get a second ship. You don't get just the Dream Chaser. And so I'm gonna be using the Narlenia, which is kind of the low-hanging fruit because it reduces the cost of the first ally that I play each round by 1. And notice it says each round. It's not just during the planning phase. So what I can do is I can save that for maybe Thranduil's combat action or something along those lines. So that way I'm not, it doesn't have to happen in the normal scheme of things here. So that's good. I didn't get a chance to upgrade this, or I didn't necessarily want to upgrade it. It's going to do all right just sitting there defending for the most part. It says set each copy of Dol Amroth warship aside out of play. I did that. Search the encounter deck for Raider flagship and 1 copy of scouting ship. So let's take a look at both of those. Raider flagship is kind of the big boss guy, 18 hit points, can't be damaged except by ship objectives. And so it's going to take a while to deal with this guy. The forced effect is at the end of the encounter phase, the engaged player, so it only triggers if you're engaged with it. If you're up in the staging area, it's not a problem, but you have to reveal the top card of the Corsair deck and engage it. And so that'll trigger any engagement effects that Corsairs have and things like that. So this guy's going to be constantly pumping out bad guys, and I don't have a lot of ways to damage this thing. It's going to take a lot of rounds to do it. So because I'll have to defend it using a ship, but then I can only attack it with ships. So it's going to be a little while. I put those 2 in the staging area, and then it says search the encounter deck for a Dol Amroth objective of your choice and add it to the staging area. Then shuffle the encounter deck and resolve the guarded keyword on that objective. Okay, so let's take a look at the one that I chose. For this scenario, I chose the beacon. I didn't want to choose any of the other ones. The Tower of the Heron was, or I don't know, something about the Heron was something that seemed reasonable to me because it reduced the amount of archery by 4. But I think I'll be all right. We'll see. But I need to have the extra ships. It says in the planning phase, it's planning action if the players control the beacon, exhaust it, and spend 5 resources, and take control of 1 set-aside copy of the Dol Amroth warship. So if I'm able to do that, that's fine. Okay, so we'll guard this. Now, this is not guarded X. That's a more recent invention than what this cycle has. So this gets guarded like the objectives do in Escape from Dol Guldur. So I'm going to guard it. Surprise, we'll see what it comes out to be. And we get the Coast of Omphalos. Okay, and the Coast of Omphalos says if you're off course, Coast of Omphalos gets +2 threat. Okay, travel. Exhaust a ship objective to travel here. So in order to go there, we're going to have to exhaust a ship objective. Okay, so we've done everything on that side. So now it's time to flip this over and see what 1B has in store for us. Okay, so you can see it's a sailing. It's a sailing stage, and it only has 10 quest points. That seems low, but again, it's been so long since I've played these that actually the last time that I played this particular scenario, it was at Con of the Rings, and some of you may remember, and you can leave a comment down below if you want about this, but John from Cardboard of the Rings talks about the eagles that he got. I was actually playing in that game, and it was this scenario, and he had an eagle of the north, ran out of cards, shuffled up the deck, the encounter deck, got another eagle of the north, and just destroyed the the ships that were going on. It was phenomenal. So kudos to you, John. He still talks about that. But you can see here there's some forced effects that if you're off course, you have to deal damage to your own ship enemy when it engages you. If you're on course, then you get to deal 2 damage to the enemy ship. And then if your current heading is the worst, the Raider flagship gets minus 50 engagement cost. So we want to make sure that we stay on course, as always, with all these sailing quests. Now, I'm not sure what the encounter deck has in store for us, but we'll go from there. The campaign card is pretty good. There's a lot going on here. We're part 8 of this campaign. Now, there's that one treachery that does damage or raises your threat based on the part of the campaign that you're on. So at the beginning of the campaign, that didn't seem so bad. Now all of a sudden it seems pretty yucky. And so it says, string setup, attach the black key burden to the Raider flagship. The black key here is just an attachment that just gives the attached enemy +1 threat, attack, and defense, and gains immune to player card effects, which is fine because the Raider flagship is already immune to player card effects, but the extra stats are going to be a pain in the neck. That said, I upgraded it earlier on in the campaign, so that way it's less of a pain in the neck for me to deal with. It says each player chooses a modification boon for each of their ship objectives and attaches it to that ship objective. Okay, let's take a look at the objectives that I have, the modification objectives. On the left, you have extra sails. That's going on the Dream Chaser, and that's that just says the ship gets +1 willpower. But then it says when a non-unique ship enemy engages you, like the scouting ship that's already in the staging area, it says spend 1 resource and exhaust extra sails to reduce that enemy's boarding value by 1. So that's a good way to keep people from engaging me. And then the armor plating on the right there, that goes on the Narlenia, and that gives it an extra defense. And both of these are upgraded. I was able to upgrade them early on here. And so by upgrading it, it says after the attached ship defends against an enemy, discard 1 shadow card from another enemy. So it's kind of like an armored destrier, which is kind of a neat call out to, the mount. This is kind of like a mount in the ocean, right? And so, I don't know, kind of a neat thing. Shuffle Thunderstruck into the encounter deck. I did that. Shuffle Crowley into the Corsair deck. I did that. When they come out, we'll make sure we take a look at them. And then it says put Calarian into play under the control of the player with the Dream Chaser. And then it says put Gavin into play under any player's control. I'm the only player, so I get both of those characters. Let's take a look at them. Okay, so Calarian on the left, it just gives you the ability to ready the Dream Chaser and give it some stats, which may be beneficial here when I'm trying to beat up on the flagship. Clarion, I guess, is the captain of the Dream Chaser, so I kind of like this kind of motif that's going on here. And then Gavin, call out to some of the earlier cycles here. Gavin is the bird that Lanwin has, so that's why it has that when revealed effect that says add 1 resource to Lanwin's resource pool if you can. So that's pretty cool. I don't play Lanwin, but I think it's pretty cool. And then the planning action allows you to shuffle Gavin and one random set aside send for help into the encounter deck. And so we'll talk about the send for helps when they come into play. But I kind of like the call outs here that's going on. So the last one here is that you may choose a copy of Círdan's Blessing not in the campaign pool and add it to their hand. Okay, so this version of Círdan's Blessing is the lore version, and right now it doesn't have any level. It's level 0, so X is equal to 1, and it says after the active location is explored, move 1 resource from Círdan's Blessing to the attached resource pool, then heal 1 damage. So it's healing and resource acceleration, kind of in a unique way. We have to get through whatchamacallit, active locations to do that. Okay, so there is a checklist on the back here, but this is probably the hardest scenario in the whole cycle, so I'm not even going to think about using it as a checklist. But I know what I kind of need to do, because I just think it's pretty obvious what the XP is going to go for. Okay, so let me take you a little tour of the play area here. So here's the encounter deck and the Corsair deck and the staging area, and then I'll engage people. Heroes, Clarion, Gavin, my fleet here, the heading card. And I do have this fancy little poker chip that was made at Con of the Rings that year. That was good. And then I have my marker. I don't think there's any side quests. And then I have my set-aside Dol Amroth warships, threat tracker, set-aside send for helps here, because it's random. And then we have all of that going on. So we're all on the same page. What I did is I upgraded Starla by 2. I had 4 left over. I had 4 XP, and so I leveled up Starla twice, so now she's level 4. And then I actually upgraded the lore version of Send for Help so that I could maybe I took a gamble. Maybe I get Gandalf out. I guess we will start. We will draw. I already gave everybody resources here, so we'll draw and we'll go on from there. So let's see what we get. Okay, so we started by getting a Galadriel's Handmaiden. Okay, I like to have my deck turned so that when I draw it, I'm drawing it so that the cards are up. I'm definitely going to put Nenya on Galadriel here. I'll spend 1. I think I'm going to put the Handmaiden into play for 1 because the Narlenia reduces the cost. So that means my threat goes down by 1. Okay, so I'll put Círdan's Blessing onto Thranduil for 1. And then this comes into play with 1 resource on it. Okay, now Galadriel's ability says that when allies come into play, they don't exhaust the round that they come into play. When something enters play during setup, it then carries over to the first round. So Gavin and Clarion don't have to do that. I don't get Celeborn's bonuses because neither of them are Sylvan, but it is what it is. So without trying, I'm doing 1, 2, I'm doing 5 here for questing. Oh, you know what I have to do? I have to remind myself, okay, so we have to sail. I forget how, if there's a lot of sailing or not a lot of sailing, I don't even know how many success symbols there are. So Gavin appears to be a good sailor. But I need a quester here. Let's see. So I'm gonna use the Dream Chaser for 3. For right now, I hope. 3? I feel like there should be 1 more. Okay. So I'll do Gavin for 4. This goes, so just to remind you, we shift this off course. And then we look for success symbols on the encounter cards. And we have one success symbol. We did get the Thunderstruck. Oh my gosh. So 2 ships. That's a lot of it's a lot of ships. Okay. Now questing, that's 3, 4. I'm back on course here. So what I'm hoping is to, oh man, this is 8. Okay. That's crazy because of this. I didn't count that, the coast of Omphalos. Okay. So 8. So 3, 4, 7, I guess. I was going to try to engage this guy. I can maybe still try to do it, but it depends. I don't know. Okay, so let's see what we get. We have a light cruiser, and the light cruiser has boarding 2 and can't have attachments. When a raider enters play, or it's revealed from the Corsair deck, you put a resource on it. That's a pain in the neck because the Corsairs get good stuff from having resources on them. That's 4 threat. That's stupid amounts of threat. So I have to use Galadriel here. Okay. So I am going to use Galadriel. So that's 11. So I actually raise my threat by 1. But I'm going to travel here. With the hopes of freeing up that that objective. Okay. I don't want to engage this guy. And let's see. I have to exhaust a ship to travel. Okay. I don't have 3 resources. I can't even reduce by 1 here. I can defend, but I can't defend, so I'd have to take this ship, one of these ships, undefended. But see, I'm not getting ahead of the game because, I don't know, I'm just not getting ahead. We're going to just, I guess, call it a day here. Okay, well, here we go. Let's ready, get resources, raise my threat, draw a card. Oh, I get Starla. Okay, let's take a look at Starla, because this is good. Okay, Starla's like the Noldor that never goes away. Starla actually has a level of 4. I upgraded her 2 and then 2 the last scenario, so all the X's are 2 at this point, so that's good. And then when she exhausts, you get to put progress on the location, so that's even better. And the 0 cost makes it the best. So, and I got really lucky getting her at the Temple of the Deceived. I wasn't planning, I was thinking I was going to get a recurring nightmare, and I just happened to get her, so I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, the bummer is that she, when she comes into play, that means that I just use that. I can't, so I reduced it because that's the only option I have. So, okay, so I'm going to put inner strength here for 1. So let's see. I am going to, so that's 2. Sorry, I'm going to, see, I'm going to sail for 4. Okay, I'm off course because that's what happens here. Okay, now Here's the problem. If I don't get back on course, I'm going to be like, it's going to be wild. Oh, look. This thing, I forgot to count, so I actually had to raise my threat by 2 last time around. Okay, so, because this is 4 threat, 4 and 4, and there's actually 10 in the staging area right now. I hate that. Okay. Okay, so I'm sailing for 4. Hopefully I can succeed here. Oh yeah, okay. But again, 2 more ships, so it looks like there's a ton of ships. Not a ton of locations in this deck, but a ton of ships. Okay, so I want to leave this out to try to defend one of these things. But I can definitely quest for 2, 4, 5, 8. There's 10 in the staging area. And then my hope is that I don't get anything crazy, and then I'm able to use Nenya and I can quest successfully. I did just exhaust Starla, so that puts a progress there. Okay, so let's see what I get. Be careful what you wish for, Walsh. So I get a treachery, and it says, place 1 resource on each raider enemy in play. Each engaged non-ship enemy makes an immediate attack. If there are no engaged non-ship enemies, Battle Hardened gains Surge. So let's see what this surges into. Oh, okay. It surges into the Tower of the Gull. And that's guarded. And it says if the Tower of the Gull is free of encounters, add it to the staging area controlled by the players. If the players control the Tower of the Gull, exhaust it to deal 2 damage to a non-unique ship enemy, and it doesn't matter where it is, and it's not a player card. This has an Eye of Sauron back, so it's an encounter card, so that's good. And it says any player may trigger this effect. It's a combat action. Okay, but that's guarded. So now let's see what this is guarded by. Okay, and so this is guarded by this when revealed. Okay, it says attached when revealed, attached to a ship objective, counts as a condition with the text force. When attached to exhaust, deal 2 damage to it. Action, exhaust 3 characters you control to discard taking on water. So that leaves this free of encounters because it's just guarded. So I think I got lucky. I think I have 8 and there's 10 in the staging area because of all those shenanigans that I did. So I'm going to exhaust Galadriel and Nenya to get me up to 12, 8. So that I make 2 progress. So look, 2 progress, I get through this. I was back on course. I get through this. And now this is also in the staging area. Okay. This is my objective thing. Okay, so I can deal damage, and I can spend 5 to take control of a Dol Amroth warship during the planning phase. Okay. I don't have any locations, but I can engage... let's see. I can engage, I guess this guy is better than nothing, right? Okay, so I'll engage the scouting ship. So I'm going to spend 1 and exhaust extra sails, and that reduces the boarding to 0 for the scouting ship, which is great. Okay. And now let's see. I'll deal a shadow card. I will defend with the Narlenya, who's defending for 6. And it says, if your heading is at the worst setting, attacking enemy makes additional attack. Okay, there's no worse setting here. Okay, I'm at the best setting. And now the question becomes... let's see. I'm going to do 2 damage by exhausting the Tower of the Gull. Okay. I mean, that's what I got. And I can't do anything else really. I mean, I could attack with Thranduil, but no point. Okay. So I think we're okay. Okay, so I'm going to ready, get resources, raise my threat, and draw a card. And I get Lorien. First of all, the art, awesome. Next, it says to attach to a hero. Doesn't matter what kind of hero, but it says exhaust Lorien to lower the cost of the next Sylvan ally played this phase by 1 to a minimum of 1, which I love because combined with the Narlenia, the 3-cost allies that I have in my hand, like this guy, I get to use Lorien to reduce it by 1 down to 2, and that Narlenia by another 1. So it's pretty good. So I'm going to bring this guy out into play. The Lorien and the Lorien Guide. I'm going to put Lorien onto Galadriel. I'm actually going to bring out the Tracker, Sylvan Tracker, just because I think right now the healing may help more than anything. Plus, the Tracker is beefier and there's no active location. So all of that combines to make that the card that I want to use. Okay. So now I can exhaust 3 to get rid of taking on water. So do I want to exhaust 3 to get rid of taking on water? Maybe I'll do that at the end of combat if I have that option. I have a lot of things that I can spend money on. I can use the beacon to bring in the warship. Okay, I can use this to do this. Like, there's just a lot of things. So, who knows? Okay. Let's do a sailing test. So I'm gonna exhaust the Dream Chaser. Okay. So that means that it does 2 damage to the Dream Chaser, which I will do here. Okay, but that's 3 characters, 4 to the sailing test. So I'll move my ship to cloud, or my card to cloudy. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I've been having good luck with 4 being the magic number. And there's Ominous Fate. There's the one where X is 8. So that's good. Okay, and I get rid of, there's 4 treachery. That's 4 treacheries right in a row. That would have been crazy. And they all have shadow effects too. Oh, golly, that's horrible. Okay. Sometimes I just wonder what the heck is going on here. Okay. Okay, so now I can quest. There is 4 and 4 is 8 in the staging area. Okay, so I'm gonna 2, 4, 7, 2, 4, 7. Okie doke. We get the Belphallus Islet. Okay, it says you cannot travel here if you are off course, and it says response. After you travel to the islet, choose a ship enemy that is not guarding an objective. While it's the active location, that chosen enemy is considered to be out of play. Funny, so it's hiding in this islet. Okay, so I got back on course. I am going to travel here. Okay. So I'm going to make this guy out. Let's see, 9 versus 7. I need to exhaust. Let me make sure I do this right. I got all ahead of myself. I started traveling, so I don't want to. I'm going to put 2 progress here. Okay, good. Okay. Now I travel because I'm at, let's see, 11 versus 9, 2 progress here. That's good. Okay. I travel. This is the card that I'm putting out of play. It doesn't say that anything happens to it. It's just considered to be out of play, so I'm turning it over. So that eliminates its threat for the next turn and anything that happens to impact it. Okay. So that's good. Okay, so now deal shadow card. Not to my ally. I'm going to deal shadow card. I'm going to defend this for 5, 6. This has 5. No shadow. There's another boat. Okay. And so no damage. And now I am going to, let's see, can I even do, let's see, 2, 4, 5. Let's see, how much do I want to do? I guess, let's see, I just need to do 5. Okay, so that 5, 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to exhaust the Tower of the Gull to do 2 more damage, and then this thing is done. No victory, but it goes here. Okay. So maybe this is the turn that I can get caught up with getting rid of this and stuff. Okay. So here we go. Let's ready everybody, and then we will draw, get resources, and do all that good stuff. And I get a Host of the Glathrum, which is a great card, but don't need it right yet. During planning, okay, I control the beacon. I'm going to spend 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The Narlenia doesn't reduce the cost because this has no cost. It's just an objective. So now I get another ship into play. Okay. And I'm on course. And so like that's going to help me attack these things. Okay. So now I'm going to exhaust to get rid of this. So I'm going to exhaust 1, 2, 3 to get rid of this now. Okay. Which I actually really appreciate the design of this card because it allows you to get rid of it without having like a Miner in the Iron Hills or something like that. You can just exhaust 3 characters and get rid of it. Now the other thing is this the time now to put Gavin into the encounter deck with one of these? Maybe I want the encounter deck to be a little thinner. Okay, but right now there's only 4 in the staging area. But there's 5 here. So let's see. Let's see. This would be a good time to do this. This is immune to player card effects. Now the ship modification attachments aren't considered player cards. They're considered encounter cards. So I can reduce this boarding because it's not immune to player card effects. It's time to oh, but this is a unique ship enemy, so I can't do that anyways. But okay, let's do 3 4, 5, 8. Okay, let's see what we get here. And we get the scouting ship, which is the thing we just got, so, or the thing we just destroyed. Okay, so that's 6. I make 2 more progress, which is Good. It's going to go on here, which I'm okay with. Okay. Okay, this is still considered out of play. Okay, I'm not off course. I didn't use Galadriel, so you know what? I'm just going to use her her ability. I'm going to lower my threat by 1, draw a card, and I get a Feigned Voices, which is great. That allows me to cancel an attack, or to prevent an attack, let's say. Just cannot attack. I feel like I didn't check to see if I was on course or not on course. Let's see. I got rid of this. I did 3. So, look. Okay. Let's make sure that we do this right. I didn't commit anybody else. Like, that's just what so I'm going to look. So that's 1, 2, 3. So I'm actually off course. Okay. I forgot to do the sailing. Okay. So now that I'm off course, a whole bunch of things happen. Let's see. Okay. And now I'm going to, let's see. I quested for, how much did I quest for? 1, 2, 3, 8. Okay. And so I can't use her, so I quested for 8. And, oh, look at this. I get the Seaward Tower. Okay, so this just allows me to help with encounter, or with sailing tests. It says look at 2 additional cards from the top of the encounter deck during sailing tests. So it's guarded. Again, this is not guarded X. It's guarded like the Dol Guldur, Escape from Dol Guldur is. And so it's guarded. It says each player reveals the top card of the Corsair deck and puts it in play, engaged with him. So I do that. So let me move this over. And of course, the top card of the Corsair deck happens to be Crowley. Okay, so this is free of encounters. I don't think I was supposed to find 3 of these objectives so quickly, but it's fine. It says for each resource, Crowley gets an extra stat. So right now he's 333. I still get to put progress onto the current quest here. So 4 in this case now. Okay. And now this guy's engaged with me. I don't want to engage this guy, or this guy's out of play, so I can't, and I'm not going to engage this guy. I'm off course, but that doesn't do anything. It should have helped me last time because I engaged a ship when I was off course, but or when I was on course, so I should have done 2 damage. But okay, here we go. Let's deal a shadow card. I'm going to defend with Thranduil. Thranduil is defending for 4. No shadow effect. So, and no damage. So now can I do... I can't do damage. Ships can only attack other ships. So at the end of combat, he goes up into the staging area. Okay. So now I'm going to need to do this. I get extra. So, okay. I think I'm at the end of the round now. I kind of screwed it up, but I think I made it right. I'm sure you'll make some comments below. Carl, you'll make comments, right? Okay. Here we go. Let's do all the things to get ready for the new round. End this round, do the new round. I felt like there was something I wanted to do at the end of the round. Nope. Okay. Steward of Gondor. Everybody knows what Steward of Gondor does, so I'm not even going to show you. But I'm going to put Steward of Gondor immediately onto Galadriel. I'm going to put resources on her. Okay. Now, that's going to be helpful because I want to do all the things. I get to bring him out, or her. I'm not sure. It's the elves are a combination of hims and hers, so maybe they're theys. So, let's see. I'm going to just spend 1 because I have the Narlenia, I have this, so that gives me 2 to deal with. Let's do some sailing. So I'm going to sail for, let's see, I'm off course 2. So I have to sail for 5 because I have the seaward tower. So that's 5. Then I'll leave this, let's see, Gavin for 6 and Clarion 7. Okay, so let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I got my 2. I got 2 already. Let's see, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so lots of ships, lots of ships. But the fourth objective is still out there. So, okay, in the staging area, 7. This is 4, and this is 3. So now we can quest. This is 2. This is 4. Okay. 5. I'm back on course. 5. 8. 2, 4, 5. 8. 8, and then I can boost it with her if I want to. Okay, so that clears out this location with the Lorien Guides response. Oh, actually, I am not going to use the Lorien Guides response, because if I clear it out now, that's going to turn this over, and then I'm not going to be able to do it. So I'm not doing the Lorien Guides response. So I'm still questing for 8 versus 7. What do we have? And we get the Tower of the Heron. I don't know if I've ever been this lucky to, well, I don't know if anybody's been this lucky to get all 4 right at the beginning. But here it is. This reduces the archery total by 4, which is totally crazy. Right now there's no archery in the staging area, but I'm assuming that that's going to change soon. And it gets guarded by a siege ship, which has archery too. Okay. Can I have attachments? It says, well, it's in the staging area games. At the end of the quest phase, if siege ship is not guarding an objective, and there's an attached siege ship to that objective guarding it. There's 9 in the staging area. I only did 8. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to raise my threat by 1. I'm going to keep this, like, let's do that. I'll raise my threat by 1. This is still out of play, but now, look, I can use Galadriel to lower my threat and draw a card, and I get another Handmaiden, and that's going to help. I think, okay, we are on course. I can only option one of these things. So this guy has archery too, but I'll be okay. I'll engage Crowley. Okay. Crowley has 4 defense and 4 attack now. Okay, so I will use Thranduil to defend. I guess I should do this. I will look, no, it looks like a horrible treachery. No shadow, no damage. Okay, I'll play, you know what, I'll wait to play the Handmaiden, beginning of next turn. And 2 archery damage here, which I'll put here and here. If I defend here, this is 4, and then I still have to do more. Doesn't help. Attacking for 2. Nothing helps. Nothing helps at this point. Okay. How many cards are in the encounter deck here? 4. I don't want to do this. Okay, so I'm going to put this guy back in the staging area. So now I have 10 in the staging area. What does this say? I think this says... I think that this says you can do 2 damage to a non-unique ship enemy. So I'm just going to start plinking this guy. It doesn't say it has to be engaged, so I'll plink this guy. We'll do the ready, resources, raise threat, and draw a card. And I get another Feigned Voices. Cancel an attack. First thing I'm going to do is, with the Narlenia, I'm going to just spend 1 and bring in the Handmaiden. That lowers my threat by 1. Okay, so that's a good start. And because I readied these 2, the Sylvan Tracker heals them. I don't have any more allies to play. So I think I'm going to put this on 2. It's an Unexpected Courage that's going to go on 2. I'm not going to play Unexpected Courage. I know that sounds silly, but I'm going to spend 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. To bring in this other warship. Okay. That's what I needed to do. Okay. So now I'm hoping to have enough of a fleet over here to, look, I'll put Clarion with my fleet, to be able to take out these ships, hopefully one-shot them. How much is in the staging area? 2, 10, right? 2, 10, 10. Okay. I don't really have a huge attacker right now, so this guy is becoming a problem. Well, let's do sailing. Sailing first. Here, okay, I'll do this. This is for 5. Now, there's not enough cards in here. The rule is if there's not enough cards, you have to shuffle them all in. Okay, so now I'm going to look for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and I got just barely 1 success symbol. Okay, but that's all I needed was 1 success symbol. Okay, and now we can quest. Okay, I'm going to leave all these guys up because I'm going to want to do stuff to this guy this time around. I probably need these 3 to do that. So I'm going to need to quest. I'm going to leave Crowley in the staging area here. I was going to say Graxar, but that's Crowley. Okay, so now we need to quest. So I brought out one of these. So this is 3, 5, 6, 7. 7. And I still am not, I don't have my attacky Sylvans out. So 9, 10. I'll do 10. 10, 11. And I'm not using either response here because I want to leave that up. 11. Okay, 14. Okay, 14. It's enough. More amazing art, but also more, I can't imagine this thing's going to be treacherous. It's going to be horrible. Okay, when revealed, if you're off course, which I'm not, the engaged ship enemy with the highest attack makes immediate attack, so that doesn't, until the end of phase. Okay, if no attack is made as a result of this effect, ramming speed gains Doom 2. Okay, I'll take the Doom 2. Okay, that's beautiful card art, but it fizzles, but I'll take the fizzle. Well, that's good. 14 versus 10. So this gets me through here with 3. So that's here. So that's 5 here. This is done. Okay, this gets turned over. I'm going to engage this guy. Okay. This guy means that I get to do 2 damage to it. Okay. Okay. And now I'm going to deal with this a shadow card, and I have to get some combat. Let's see. Okay, and I'm going to put the other damage here. Okay. So now I'm going to defend with the Narlenia. I don't have anything to get rid of a shadow. Okay, no shadow effect. That's good. Okay. And so this guy, no damage. And then I'm going to do 4, 8 to damage to kill this thing. Okay. So now I reduce my archery by 4. No victory, but I'm clearing this out. Okay, life is looking good. Okay, so now I'm going to raise threat. I'm going to heal, give resources, ready everybody, and draw a card. And now I get the Marksman of Lorien, which is a phenomenally good card so that I can start attacking and killing stuff. So I'm actually going to take the Unexpected Courage and put the Unexpected Courage onto Galadriel. With that Unexpected Courage, I get to draw and lower my threat every round. And so I now get another copy of Nenya, which doesn't help. So I'm on course. I'm going to, with the Dream Chaser, I'm going to exhaust the Dream Chaser. I have 5 to commit to the sailing test here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make sure that's 5 here. Okay, let's see. Do I get it? No. 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 Yes, the last one, the heavy cruiser got me there. Oh, whew, that was crazy. Okay. And I now have, there's 12 in the staging area because this thing is now back. Okay. But I'm feeling like I can handle some things a little bit better. Okay. But I can still only engage one of these things at a time. So I'm going to leave these 2 things up there. And this thing is going to, I'm going to try to get rid of Crowley here. Okay. So, questing. I'm going to quest for 3, 7. That's 7. 7. Let's see. 11, 15. Questing for 15 right now. And I don't think, let's see, I think I'm pretty close to triggering Gavin here. The sooner I get these send for aids in the victory or in the encounter deck, the better, I think. Let me just see. Do they have a success symbol? They all have success symbols, so that's good. Okay. Here. Uh, 16. I want to be careful. I don't want to go through the quest. 16. I'll do 16. What do I get? I get the Starlit Sea. Okay, it says, while you are off course, Starlit Sea gains travel, raise each player's threat by 3. Okay, so that's 15 versus, I think, let's see, 7, 15, so it's even up. Okay, and I can't boost yet. So, okay, I'm going to travel here. Okay, I'm on course. Okay. And now I'm going to engage Crowley. That gives him an extra resource, and I better be able to kill him. I hope I'm able to kill him. So, deal a shadow card. Okay, and I'm going to play Feign Voices. Feign Voices allows me to bring one of these back up into my hand to cancel this attack. This attack is canceled. Okay, I didn't want to deal with that anyways. So now it's a matter of me getting up to, somehow getting to, let's see, 5, 10. So I'm going to play this for 1, actually, which is great, isn't it? Okay, so I'll just pay 1 here. I'll pay this 1. Okay. So I'm going to target him. He's not immune. Okay. So I can it's attacking for 4, so I need, let's see, 4 more. Is that true? Let's see. -2, that's 3, and then 4 attack, so that's 6. Okay, so yes, this is why I love the Marksman Valorian coming into play. Okay, so this guy has, I need to do 4 more, so that's going to be, look, I get to put it this here, so that's 2, 4, and then 5. I'm only doing this because I forgot to remove the damage and from the archery last time around, and it's a response, so I can't go back and be like, oh, I forgot to do it. I mean, I could, but because it doesn't impact much of what's going on. But regardless, that gets this into the victory display, and that's a great place to see Crowley. Okay, so see you later, Crowley. Victory display I'll put over here. Okay, and then let's see, I'm going to use the whatever one and does 2 damage to whatever. So that's going to be this one here. Boink, 2 damage. And now I'm going to ready, get resources, and then heal these guys up and draw 2 cards. Not raise my threat because of Galadriel. I get a Tree People, finally. And then I get an Orphan. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do this Gavin. Okay. So I have to pick a random one of these. Here, I'll shuffle them up. Pick a random one. Okay, I get the leadership one. At least I get to use that. And then these 2 get shuffled into the encounter deck. Now, I'm going to spend 1 because I'm going to do Olorian. This comes into play. And now I'm going to use the Tree People to bring her back up into my hand. And the Tree People allows me to look at the top 5 cards of my deck for an ally and bring them into play. And I got 0. How often does the Tree People freaking whiff? Okay. And now I'm going to bring these 2 back out for 2 each. That's going to lower my threat by 2 more. Maybe this is the time to beat up this guy. Oh, look, I forgot to ready this. Okay. Okay, well, without trying here, I'm going to quest for 2, 5, 8, 11. How much is in the staging area? Looks like 8. Okay. I'm going to slow down. I still have to, let me exhaust. So I have 5 for the quest here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got send for help, which is a bummer. But I got 3 of those. 3 success symbols, which is a bummer because there's not as many success symbols in here as I'd like. So I stay on course. Okay, and now I'm going to quest for 11, I guess 15. And there's 8 in the staging area. This, let's see. This, I'm using the Sylvan Tracker's response, and I get Gavin. Okay, Gavin is surge and ranged. And I'm going to... Oh, great. Okay, let's look at Ominous Fates. This is, in my opinion, a great card because it gives a lot of choices of really horrible things. So it says, I either have to raise my threat by X, deal X damage among characters I control, where X is the... So I have to do one or the other here. So I don't want to raise my threat by 8, although I could, I guess. It has surge, though, so let's see what we get here. Surge. Okay, we get a scouting ship. You know what? I think I want to do 8 damage because what I realized is if I raise my threat, I'm going to end up having to engage a whole bunch of things. So I'm going to do some damage here amongst characters I control. There's 10 in the staging area, and I have 15, so I actually make it through the quest. So search the encounter deck and discard pile for a ship enemy and add it to the staging area if there are 3 or more players in the game. Okay, so I'm going to look for a ship enemy. I'm going to get a skirmisher because I think I can kill it and I think I can take control of it, and that's going to help out. And I have things that I can discard to help me deal with stuff. So it says, for each unguarded objective in the staging area, attach a non-unique ship enemy in the staging area to that objective. The only one that I kept out was the Tower of the Gull, which allows me to do 2 damage. If your heading is at the worst, the Raider flagship gets minus 50. So 16, say I can't advance while at least one objective is guarded by an encounter. Okay. I'm going to engage the skirmisher. And that's it. I'm going to try to do this one at a time here. Okay. And then, let's see. I could take this, and then I want to make sure that I'm killing stuff. So I'm going to just take the skirmisher right now, and I'm going to spend the 1 to reduce the boarding by 1, and now I will deal a shadow card. I'll defend with the Narlenia. Just defending for 6. No shadow, which is good. And now I'm going to do 4, 8, 11. I'm going to kill this. I'm going to discard these 2 things here to take control of the skirmisher. Okay, and now this is there, and then I'm going to do 2 more damage. to the light cruiser. Okay, so now I'm going to ready everything. Actually, as part of that, I'm also going to attack with these guys as part of that. Okay, because I want to heal. Let's ready, heal, resources, but not raise threat because of her. So now I'll draw my regular card, which I get a minstrel, and then I'll draw command. Okay, so it says add command to the victory display and choose up to X options, where X is its level. It's 3, so I get to choose 3 options here. Hero gets +2 to the end of the round. Each character with Círdan's Blessing does not exhaust to commit to a quest this round. And then place 2 progress on a non-unique location. And then it says put Spyglass into play attached to a hero. I also drew the minstrel, which allows me to go find an event in the top 5 cards of my deck. So I have some things that I'm going to do this round. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to play Island Amid Perils, which I pull somebody back into my hand, and then I reduce my threat by that person's cost. So I'm down to 29 threat. Okay, now I'm going to play said Sylvan for 1 because I have Olorien and I have the Narlenia, and because of that I'm going to find the Handmaiden, and then I'm going to bring the Handmaiden into play for 2 here. So that's a good start. I guess I will put Círdan's Blessing onto Celeborn. In the staging area, it's 4, 8, 10. I don't get the extra benefit here. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Before I start sailing, I'm going to use Gavin's ability, and I'm going to get a random set aside send for help. I hope it's the lore one. I'm going to this one here. Let's see, is it the lore one? Nope, it's the spirit one. At least I'm picking the ones that that I have resource matches for. Okay, now I will sail for 3. 3, 4, 4. Okay, 4. Let's see. 1, 2. So far, not yet. 3. There it is. 4. So I barely made it. I'm still on course. Now I'm going to quest. So I'm already questing for 6, 8, plus another 4 is 12 against 10. That's without even trying. I'll do this. Another 3. 12, 15. So I'll quest for 15. 15 up against 10, and we get a light cruiser. Okay. So we already have a light cruiser here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so I made 1 progress. Yippee. Okay, I will engage this guy. I'll use the Tower of the Gold to 2 damage to this. Okay. I'll spend the 1 to reduce its boarding by 1. And now I will, let's see, no shadow. And then all I have to do is, let's see, 4, 8, 12. Boom. This is dead. Okay, so this, and now I have this. Okay, so I don't raise my threat because of Galadriel, so I get a Greenwood Archer, and then my second card is a Tree People. I'm going to Tree People a Galadriel's Handmaiden back into my hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on, something worth it. Oh, Room Mill. But that has to be somebody engaged with me, so I guess, well, might as well bring Room Mill into play. Because of the Narlenya, I'm able to bring this guy out for 1. So I'll do that. Okay, now I get to look for an event. And the event that I find is, the only one I have is Island Amid Perils. Okay. Okay, I'll use Lorien to reduce the cost of the Handmaiden by 1. Reduce my threat by 1. Okay, and now I need to, let's see, I'm going to use Island Amid Perils one more time to bring Orphan back up into my hand. And I'm now going to play Orphan for 1, 2, 3. And that lowers my threat by 3. And I get to bring the Lorien Guide back into my hand because of Orphan's ability. Okay. So I think these were the 3 that came out this turn. So Room Mill did come out this time around too. Room Mill allows me to do damage to an enemy engaged with a player, but I don't have anything engaged with me. So I'm going to try to kill this thing this turn if I can. I have to do maybe not this turn. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to be able to get rid of this, and then maybe I get rid of this and then do this. I don't know. And then I can deal with that. Okay. Well, let's see. I'll do 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm off course by 1, and oh my god, I get 4 on courses. Okay, good. Okay, so I'm back on course, no problem. Questing, so 3, 6, 9, 11. In the staging area there is 12. So I'm doing 11. I'm doing 15 here. 15. So I'm going to stick to 15. Let's see what I get. I get a treachery. Boarding party. Each player reveals top card of the Corsair deck. Oh, I did that one already. I don't have a way to cancel that. So this guy comes into play, engage with me. Look at this guy coming in. Great art. So when this dude engages me, I discard a random card from your hand and place resources on it equal to that card's printed cost. Okay, what do I get? Okay, I get rid of command, so it gets 1 resource. Okay, and then it says when Vicious Marauder attacks you, distribute damage among characters you control equal to the number of resources on it. Okay, well, I can probably handle this guy. Okay, so I'm going to spend 1, reduce the boarding by 1. And we get an Infiltrator. Okay, it says when it attacks, deal it 1 additional shadow card for each resource on it. After the engaged player collects resources at the beginning of the resource phase, that player moves 1 resource from one of his heroes to the Infiltrator. So the Infiltrator is taking stuff. Hopefully I can kill that guy. Okay, so this comes into play with this as that. Okay, now deal shadow cards. 1, 2. I can't even get a break. I probably should have. Okay, 1. Let's make sure I do this right. So it's 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'm going to do 2 damage to this guy using the direct damage. So this goes here. It's only a combat action that I can do that with here. Okay. Okay. Now let's do some defenses. I will defend here, this guy. No shadow. Now I get to get rid of another shadow here. I'm going to get rid of this shadow. There's no shadow effect there. Okay. Now I have 2. This guy is done attacking. So now I can do, let's see, I will defend here with this guy. There's a shadow. It says, resolve this card's when revealed effect. I got this as a shadow, and so I get to do the when revealed. It says choose 1. Planning, combat, refresh, or resource. So I'm going to pick, I guess, the resource phase, because now there's an additional instance of the resource phase after the combat phase. And then it's going to go to the refresh phase, and I'm going to get more resources. I'll get another batch of resources, which may be helpful. Okay, I have to distribute damage equal to that guy's number of resources, and now I have to deal 3 here. It says, so now I get another shadow card, but I don't have any shadow cards to deal with, so this guy I have to defend for 3, so maybe Celeborn defends here like this. Okay, so now I think that's 12, so this is 4, 8, 12. That's this. This guy dies. Okay, or is destroyed. Okay, now I have to do now I'm going to do 3, 5 to this. This guy dies. Now Corsairs get their own discard pile, so Celeborn's kind of crowded out here. Okay, and now I have to do 6. So there's 3, 6, and this guy dies. So good. Okay. So I was able to kill everything. I have a low threat. I'm gonna ready. Okay. So now here's the way that card works, as far as I can tell. Is I get a resource phase, so I'm going to give myself a resource phase. I'm able to, because it's the resource phase, I get resources, but I also get to draw a card, which is also part of the resource phase. And I get Hanamarth. Okay, great. Okay, so now it's the end of the round. We will refresh, not raise threat, ready everybody, and draw 2 cards, and heal when appropriate. Okay. Draw. I get a Woodland Courier, and for my second card, I get Asphalloth. I added Asphalloth. Asphalloth is a mount, so I'm able to then use the mount on Galadriel or any of my heroes. I'm going to bring this guy out for 1. Okay, that's this. Okay. I'm going to play the Woodland Courier for 2. I will play the Greenwood Archer for 2. Then I guess I will play Hennemarth for 1. Okay. So the Greenwood Archer doesn't matter because I don't ready anybody. This doesn't matter because I don't have an active location. And Hennemarth, a little Corset love again, is nice because I get to look at the top card of the encounter deck. Okay, so I will do 3, 4, 5. I'm off course by 1 notch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I didn't get a single. I didn't get a single success symbol. Okay. Okay, so now my warships are weak. So let me quest here for 2. Let me see. So this is the taking on water. I'll put that onto a ship, and then I can do something. So let's see here. So 2, 4, 6, 7, 11, 15, I guess. Okay, I'm questing for 15 against 4, and then I'm taking on water, so I get to attach this to a ship here. Okay, and then I'm going to exhaust 3 characters as an action to discard this, which is wonderful. Okay, so we saw taking on water earlier. So now I'm going to engage this guy. I'm going to spend 1. I'm going to spend 1 resource. You know what? I'm going to wait 1 more round because I don't have the resources yet. What I want to do eventually is, because I can't, I'm going to be able to kill this. Actually, you know what I'll do is I'll use the tower to do 2 damage. This is immune to player card effects, but this is considered an encounter card. So I'll put 2 damage on this thing. I could have been putting 2 damage on it all along. What did I do? I did 15 versus 4, so I did 11 on the quest here. 10, and then another one is 11. Okay, the first card is Quicker Than Sight, cancels a shadow effect. The second card is another Greenwood Archer. Okay, I forgot to ready this. Okay, so let's just see what we can do here. I guess I'll play the Greenwood Archer for 1. Asphalloth into play for 2. Okay, time to quest. 4. Oh, no, not time to quest. Time to sail for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh my gosh. And I am still off course. 10 cards in a row. So I'm almost at the worst heading. Yeah. Okay. Now I'll use Henemarth to look at the top card of the deck. Top card of the deck is the Fog Bank. Okay. I think I'm just going to quest just enough. So that's 6 in this. So that'll be 6 in the staging area. I guess we should look at the Fog Bank. I'm getting a little lazy here now that I know that I feel like I'm going to win. It says, while Fog Bank is the active location, ship enemies do not make engagement checks, cannot attack, cannot be attacked. I'm just going to keep that in the staging area, and then I will slowly plunk it away with Asphalloth or something. Just so you know, I did play Asphalloth this round, and I get to put that onto a Noldor or Sylvan, and then I get to put 1 progress on any location. So I'm just going to keep adding and adding and adding progress to locations. Let's see. I want to quest. I'm questing. I have 6. I want to make 3 more. So I need to quest for 9. So I have 4 already. 4. This guy came into play this round, so that's 5. And then these 2 is 9. So, okay. So this comes into play. I make 3 progress here. Oh, I need to make 4 progress. So I will exhaust this guy. Okay. So this, I was able to get through the quest card. So now let's look and see what the last quest card says. It says players make engagement checks against each enemy in the staging area. There's only 1 enemy in the staging area. The Raider's flagship gets minus 50 for this. So I guess I'm going to have to engage the Raider flagship. And then it says Raider flagship gets minus 50 engagement cost. Okay, that's fine. And then it says break through the fleet gets plus 5 quest points for each ship enemy in play. Because I make engagement checks, this has boarding 1. I'm going to spend 1 to reduce the boarding value by 1. Okay. Oh, that's a shame. Okay. So that's the end of combat. Or not combat, the end of quest. So now, at the end of the I'm going to leave this up here. So at the end of the encounter phase, I get to reveal the top of the Corsair deck, and I get a Cunning Pirate. It says discard when it engages me, which is now. I have to discard an attachment I control and put resources on it equal to the cost of the attachment. I'll get rid of Nenya. He gets 1 resource for that. Right on his head, too. Good. Serves you right. So now I have to deal with this and this. And so now we do engage or encounter. So this guy is this and this. Okay. I'm going to play Feigned Voices to bring I guess to bring Handmaiden back up into my hand. Maybe not a Handmaiden. Yeah, why not? Handmaiden. Now I'm going to, let's see. I'm going to I'm going to do 2 damage with the Tower of the Gull to this. I'm going to take... I'm way off course here. I need to get back onto course. Okay. So I'm going to defend with the Narlenia here. It says if this is a raider, place 2 resources on it. It is not a raider, so no resources, no damage here. And now I'm going to use this ability to get rid of this shadow card. Wouldn't have mattered. And now this guy's attacking for 3, but I can use Thranduil to defend for 4. And so no damage to Thranduil. So now let's see here. I'm going to spend 3, 1, 2, 3, to ready the Dream Chaser. Okay, so I'm going to do 6, 8, 10, 14 damage here. So that's 10 more damage to this thing. And then I'm going to do, let's see, 2, 5, 7, kill this. This goes here. I get to put a progress on this location. I'm going to use Asphalloth to put a progress here now. That's good. And I still have to get through here. But I'm okay. Okay, so I'm going to ready resources. I'm not going to raise threat because of Galadriel, all of that good stuff, and I'll draw some cards. So now I get Galleon. Galleon's not going to help me too much, but it's better than nothing. 0 cost, 0001. He just gets an extra. He gets 1 willpower the turn he comes into play, but he's good for fueling the Sylvan in and out of play with the 0 cost events. Okay, and then the next. There's a Nath Guide. Okay, so I'm going to first play the Nath Guide for 1. Narlenia reduces. Then I'm going to play the Handmaiden for 1. And then I'm going to play Galleon for 0. I'm going to play Nenya for 1 too. Okay. Okay, so Asphalloth, put a progress here. This guy doesn't go back into the staging area, so I only have 2. Oh, not questing. I need to do a whole bunch here. So let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm going to do 9. This is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Because I am at the worst possible thing. So I want to get 3 success symbols. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, let's see. So I get 1, 2, 3 success symbols. I get 4. I just barely got back on course. That's wild. I guess theoretically I should go back this way. Okay, but I'm back on course. Whew. That's what I wanted to do. Okay, so now I'm going to use Galadriel's Handmaiden to look, or not Galadriel, Henemarth to look at the top card. This is a scouting ship. Okay, so I can engage that and manage that, I think. Okay. So I only have 4 to deal with. So look, I'll do 4. And then 6, 9, 11, 13, 16. So I'm questing for 16. All these guys were sailing. These guys are questing because they don't exhaust a quest. Okay, 16 versus 4. Okay, this comes out. And now I make... So I have to lower my threat because I brought out the handmaiden. Okay. Anyways, so 4 versus 16, I get 12. So there's this. So as soon as I get the Raider flagship in this dead, I'm good. Okay, so I will engage this guy. I will spend 1. Will I spend 1? Yeah, why not? Spend 1 to reduce the boarding, so I don't have to worry about any boarding here. Now it's the end of the encounter phase, so I reveal one of these, and I get an Umbar Raider. It says Umbar Raider gets +1 for each resource on it. It says, after Umbar Raider attacks you, move 1 resource from one of your hero's resource pools to the Umbar Raider. Guess what? That guy's not going to attack me. Shadow cards. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Okay. So I'm going to defend this guy with the Narlenia. Narlenia is defending for 5. He's attacking for 5. It says attacking enemy gets +1. Okay. So look, the Narlenia finally... Oh, no. Does 6. Okay. And now this guy loses his shadow card because of the extra sails, or because of the armor, whatever, armor plating. Okay. And now... Huh, I thought this guy was not going to attack, but I guess he is. Okay, well, let's do this. We'll move a resource to here. It's after the attack, so he's defending for 3 right now, and he gets no shadow because we're not off course, so no damage. Okay, so now we have to try to kill things. Okay, so 2, 4, 6 to kill this. Oh, that goes into this, and then because I killed, or because I exhausted Starla, that goes there. Now let's see here: 2, 4, 6, 8. 9. This dies. And now I can... Let's see. I feel like I didn't... Oh. I only canceled this shadow effect. I didn't take the attack. So the attack is going to be defended by the Dol Amroth, the skirmisher. Okay. Then it can die. Okay. So then I can do, I'm on course, so I have 8, and that does 5 damage, which is actually just 4 damage, which is just enough to kill that, which puts this into the victory display, which means I have enough progress here to get through. Okay, so now that I beat this, let's take a look at what I get for the campaign resolution. Oh, I actually did something incorrect here. I quested through. I wouldn't have quested through and done all that. I wanted to kill the flagship. So that, just so you know, that was my intention. I wouldn't have kept playing had I not misread the win condition. So let's see how this affects, though. Let's see. 1 XP for each surviving player. So I'm just 1 player. I ended up the game on course. 1 for the Dol Amroth warships. 1 if the players control 2. I only control 1. Okay, 1 XP if the players control 4 Dal Amrath objectives. I do that, so that's 4. It says if Crowley is in the victory display, which I did, that's 5. And then it says 2 if the Raider flagship is in the victory display. Okay. And another 2 if the Thunderstruck is in the victory display. I didn't get that. So that's, look, so that's 7. I made 7. It says add the Círdan's Blessing chosen during the setup to the campaign pool. The players may spend 4 XP on Gavin to record in the campaign log that Gavin returned. I'm going to do that. I'm going to record 4 already for Gavin returned, and then that gives me 3. Okay, and then I'm going to upgrade some stuff. And then I'm going to spend the last 3 on upgrading the leadership send for help.